The Thursday News Show is back, so stay tuned because tonight we're going to talk about this weekend's downtown trick-or-treat before moving on to hear about a new program being implemented by Auburn University Hunger Solution Institute. Plus, we'll inform you on weather updates, as well as flu cases rising in the Alabama area.
Don't flip the channel because we're coming up with an exclusive take on the worrisome stares at Jordan Hare in midterm elections. Plus, be prepared to hear all about the Pet of the Week and take a look at how we acknowledge National Black Cat Day. All of that and more next on Eagle Eye's Thursday News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm John Carter.
And I'm Kensley Davis. There's been some creepy stuff happening around town, and I think I know why. Halloween is coming up this Monday, and it's taking the town by storm. Auburn's annual downtown trick-or-treat will take place on Monday, October 31st at 6 p.m., and the event will end at 8 p.m. The streets will close at 5 p.m. Fortunately, for those adults who like candy, you're invited to chaperone your child as they trick-or-treat, knocking on the doors of downtown merchants. If you like to dance, you're in luck because DJ K-Touch will be providing excellent tunes all through the night. Laurel Alford will also be in attendance to show how to make an average balloon extravagant. The 2022 costume contest will be taking place, and the categories include Best Individual Costume, Best Group Costume, Best Pet Costume, Spookiest, and Most Original. The winners will be chosen by their mystery judges and awarded prizes. Downtown Trick-or-Treat is free and open to the public whether the weather is rain or sunshine.
The aviation field is continuing to see a decline in the number of pilots entering the workforce. So, the War Eagle chapter of women felt like it was more important than ever to host its annual Girls in Aviation Day on October 15th. This experience helped women of all ages learn about aviation at the Auburn University Regional Airport. This year's event was sponsored by Delta Propel, Delta Airlines Pilot Career Path Program. Daphne Walker, Engagement Coordinator for the School of Aviation, said that Girls in Aviation's Day is important because it provides girls of all ages the opportunity to learn about different career fields in the aviation industry. Younger girls can learn about our students and other female pilots who attend with their companies. This can build a lifetime relationship with aviation. If you wish to join or learn more information, visit War Eagle Chapter website.
Auburn University opens doors to Research and Innovation Campus in Huntsville, Alabama. This new facility will feature some familiar objects from Auburn's Jewel Collins Museum of Fine Art. This new facility opened up on Tuesday with a grand opening celebration. The facility is located at 345 Voyager Way in Huntsville's Cummings Research Park. It's very large and its size measures to be a 9-acre property. Auburn University's president, Christopher B. Roberts, stated that Huntsville has been and will continue to be one of the hotbeds for our graduates to work and our faculty to partner with our students to explore. The facility will fast-track career connections that change the world, not only through the opportunity for next-generation cross-domain collab agencies, but by supplying our partners access to Auburn's most promising young minds. Auburn's research professionals and students will conduct rigorous research and development to overcome national security, aerospace, and biotechnology challenges.
Auburn University's Hunger Solutions Institute receives nearly $3 million to increase access for the consumption of milk. $3 million is a lot of money, which will help to lead a healthy fluid milk incentives program for 116 retail locations across 4 states, one of which is Alabama. Alicia Powers, the Hunger Solutions Institute Managing Director, stated that HFMI will allow for us to build on our success and expand to other states and retailers, as well as healthy food and beverage expansion. We are thrilled to lead this work for USDA FNS and expand healthy food incentives for SNAP households throughout the United States. This should be a big step to help create a better future for SNAP households across the Auburn community. Now we'll hear from Involvement Ambassador, President Bailey Blake, who is sharing the involvement update of the week.
Where you go, guys? My name is Bailey Blake, and I'm here with your involvement update. The first update I have for y'all is that the Involvement Ambassadors are hosting a campus reservations workshop on Tuesday, October 20th at noon. This workshop will be a great learning opportunity for organizations to best to utilize reservations on campus. Next up is that Emerge is having a lunch and learn on Monday, October 24th at noon. This topic will be all about big pictures and the interconnectedness of issues. Free lunch will also be provided for everyone who attends. The Beat Bama Food Drive will be on the concourse all week, raising donations for the Food Bank of East Alabama. So be sure to come hang out with them and learn how you can help fight food insecurity in our community. My last update I have for today is to be sure to check out organization days on the concourse every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to stay up to date on all the ways you can get involved throughout the semester. And just as a reminder, AU Involved has information about everything going on around campus, so I encourage y'all to check that out for more involvement opportunities. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to an involvement ambassador at involve@auburn.edu. Thanks again, guys, and War Eagle.
When we return from this short break, Joe Champagne has weather updates in your area, and we'll discuss the rising flu cases in Alabama. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6, Auburn's news leader.
I'm Joe Champagne with your weather updates for this week. This week has been a shock to many in Alabama. This past Tuesday, the Auburn area was put on marginal risk at 6 p.m. until midnight. Potential hazards included damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes. Today, the weather included a chilly low of 54 degrees and a warm high of 74. The remaining week's temperature high stays in the 70s. Friday, the high is 74 with a low of 54 with partly cloudy skies. Saturday shows a cloudy day and a high of 70 and a low of 59. Sunday has a high of 66 and a low of 57 with a chance of rain. Monday is cloudy and has a high of 72, a low of 53. Tuesday is partly cloudy and has a high of 75 and a low of 56. Finally, Wednesday has a warm high of 75 and a low of 54 with no chance of clouds in the sky.
Thank you so much, Joe, for that weather update. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking forward to warmer days. Now to breaking news. Alabama is struggling to staff special education services, leaving students with limited options to choose from. According to some school districts, there is a distinct number of shortages in teachers and specialists willing to help students with more complex needs. Thanks to the advocates and State Superintendent Eric Mackey, who has taken on this case as a priority, he will be requesting a proposal of $100 million in additional spending to the state legislature in January. Mackey desires to have $68 million to pay annual $5,000 stipends to special education teachers, $37.6 million for state-funded preschool programs, as well as $8.5 million to fund grants for certified behavior analysts for students with autism.
Flu cases are up across the state, encouraging remote learning at some schools. Officials announced Monday that this flu season has led to a lot of increase in children and young people battling the virus. 2 school districts have had to change operations because of the flu causing such a large amount of absences. Alexander City Schools is now moving to remote learning due to the rise of flu cases, which has caused 20% of all faculty and students to be absent. ADPH is recommending that everyone over 6 months old receive a flu vaccine before the end of October to best prevent against the virus. This vaccine is important for adults over 65, children under 5, pregnant women, people with weakened immune systems, and people with asthma, diabetes, or heart and lung disease. And just a reminder for all Auburn students, you can get your flu shot for free through one of the many clinics hosted by the AU Med Clinic. All you need is your insurance card.
Alabama schools are increasingly relying on emergency certified teachers. With teacher shortages, Alabama school officials are attempting to rely on getting more teachers to classrooms, even if that means certifying people with college degrees who aspire to teach but have never had formal training. The goal with these emergency certified teachers is to make them an effective teacher so that they can soon step in to aid students. Ryan Hollingsworth, Superintendent of Alabama Executive Director, stated that we want to hire college graduates with a teaching certificate right out of college and they're ready to go and hit the ground running. But they're not there. The colleges are not producing them. If you want to learn more about the teachers using emergency certificates, go to al.com.
When it comes to football, no one loves the game more than Auburn fans. So when fans speak, we listen. Auburn fans began calling for changes to the worrisome stairs at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Lynn Jones, a 55-year-old season ticket holder, said that fans attempting to walk up and down the stairs is a, quote, mistake waiting to happen. Fans who have physical disabilities or ailments often depend on others to help them travel to and from their seats. Auburn's football sports information director, Kirk Sampson, spoke on behalf of the Auburn Athletics Department, stating that Auburn University prioritizes accessibility within all its facilities, and Jordan-Hare Stadium is no different. Handrails are located throughout the stadium to assist fans with maneuvering the stairs. Some areas may contain single handrails to ensure safe ingress and egress for all attendees. If you want to voice your concern, contact the stadium control at 334-844-2807 or text ASSIST 334-591-4357 if accessibility issues arise.
When we come back, we'll talk about midterm elections, America's reaction to Kanye's recent tweets, and sports update from Kegan Miller. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening, Auburn. I'm Kegan Miller, and right now we're in the time widely known by sports fans as the golden months of sports and television. With the MLB playoffs in full swing, NASCAR deep into its playoffs, football finally underway and in high gear, and college basketball right around the corner. There is a plethora of sports to watch and enjoy. Diving into baseball at the World Series matchup set, we had the Phillies on a hot streak after coming to the playoffs last in the National League and beating the Padres 4-1 in the best-of-7 National League Championship Series. And I got to tell you, a hot wildcard team is not fun to play in the World Series. Bringing us to their competitor, the Astros, hot off a sweep against the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. This should be a fun and exciting World Series starting this Friday, October 28th at 7 p.m. NASCAR will have its final cutoff race this Sunday at Martinsville Speedway, setting the final 4 drivers for the championship race next Sunday at Phoenix Raceway. As far as college football goes, the games to look out for this weekend include Ohio State at Penn State, Kentucky at Tennessee, and OSU at Kansas State. The most notable NFL matchups this week are the Giants at Seattle, the 49ers at the LA Rams, and the Bengals at the Browns. That wraps up this week's sports preview. I hope you all find a comfy couch and a great snack to watch all the games. Thank you.
Thanks for the update, Kegan. I, for one, will definitely be finding a comfortable couch this weekend. The midterm election is coming up, approaching just 2 weeks away. Democrats are trying to hold on to their slim majorities in the House and Senate. One key Senate race that could help Democrats retain control is taking place in Pennsylvania. CNN Jeff Zellini reports.
On the eve of a critical debate, all eyes are on Pennsylvania in the fight for control of the Senate, as Democrat John Fetterman and Republican Mehmet Oz share a stage for the first time.
Thank you very much.
A new CNN poll shows Fetterman with a narrow edge, 51 to 45%, just outside the survey's margin of error, as Oz works to boost his campaign 2 weeks before Election Day. The race to fill the seat of retiring Republican Senator Pat Toomey has played out as a bitter long-distance duel, with a sharp focus on Fetterman's recovery from a near-deadly stroke in May.
It's the elephant in the room, having a stroke.
At a weekend campaign stop, Fetterman explaining how he will use closed captioning during his face-to-face encounter with Oz Tuesday night.
The lingering issue is they called it auditory processing, which makes it, I hear and I understand everything in terms of on words, on paper, and understand what I hear. But when we're talking about very specific and having things like this, we're going to I need captioning.
Today, Oz unveiling a plan to fight crime.
We're going to deal with the crime and drugs that are creating lawlessness.
An issue that has been front and center in their contest. With President Biden spending most days off the campaign trail, he made a brief visit today to the Democratic National Committee's headquarters in Washington.
Whether we maintain control of the Senate and the House is a big deal. And so far we're running against the tide and we're beating the tide.
It's yet another reminder the November elections will have lasting consequences for the 2024 presidential campaign, particularly governor's races in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, all states that formed Biden's blue wall just 2 years ago, after Donald Trump carried them in 2016. In Pennsylvania, the new CNN poll finds Democratic candidate Josh Shapiro with a 15-point lead over Republican rival Doug Mastriano. In Michigan, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer holds a narrower 6-point edge over Republican Tudor Dixon. And in Wisconsin, an even tighter race. between Democratic Governor Tony Evers and Republican Tim Michels. The economy is top of mind for voters and should be more of a priority for Democratic candidates, Senator Bernie Sanders told CNN State of the Union.
I am worried about the level of voter turnout among young people and working people who will be voting Democratic. And I think, again, what Democrats have got to do is contrast their economic plan with the Republican.
A St. Louis community is reeling from a deadly shooting at a high school yesterday. It left 2 victims and the suspected gunman dead. Officials say 7 teenagers were injured but are in stable condition. Amy Kiley reports as details emerge, so does a chilling realization.
This could have been much worse.
That terrifying thought follows a deadly school shooting in St. Louis yesterday.
Today is one of those days that we pray never happens across this country.
Police say a teenage girl and a 61-year-old woman were killed. Alumni say the older victim was a teacher at Central Visual Performing Arts High School.
The individual had almost a dozen 30-round high-capacity magazines on him, so that's a whole lot of victims there.
Interim Police Commissioner Michael Sachs says a quick response saved lives. 7 security officers were on duty, according to the district. A police precinct is nearby, and the department says more officers were in the area for a funeral.
They drove there, they put the car in park, they drew a weapon, they went into the building. There was no sidewalk conference. There was no discussion. There was no, hey, where are you going to? They just went right in.
Authorities say it took 4 minutes for officers to arrive and another 10 to stop the suspect. They identify him as a 19-year-old recent graduate from the school. Sachs says he might have struggled with mental illness.
Please have a conversation with your kid if they're old enough to have a device and make sure that any hoax or any joke that they're sending about school shooting right now will be taken incredibly seriously.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Kanye West has officially lost his billionaire status, according to Forbes. This happened after Adidas cut ties with the rapper following his anti-Semitic remarks. Other companies have also dropped West, including Gap and Foot Locker. CNN's Brian Todd looks at whether this could be the beginning of West's fall from grace.
In recent days, Kanye West said this on a podcast.
The thing about it, me and Adidas, is like, I could literally say anti-Semitic and they can't drop me.
Now, the German sportswear giant has indeed dropped West, who now goes by the name Ye. Adidas has partnered with him for 9 years. His line of sneakers with them was hugely successful. And Adidas says it will take a hit of more than $240 million to its fourth quarter sales by cutting ties.
I wish it had happened sooner, but this does send a strong statement that there are consequences when you express anti-Semitism and any form of hate.
On October 8th, West tweeted he was, quote, going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. His Twitter and Instagram accounts were locked. He's since been abandoned by The Gap, Vogue, the fashion house Balenciaga, and his powerful agents CAA. For a man who's won 24 Grammy Awards and has been a trend-setting fashion mogul, how big a fall from grace is this?
0 to 10, this is 11. It's as extreme as it gets. And the real problem is that he's crossed over a moral line through hate speech and anti-Semitism.
Observers say one danger with West's public remarks is that his audience is young and impressionable. Another is the current political and social climate in America.
He's using this platform in the context of a post-2020 America with everything that we know that's going on in terms of hate crimes, in terms of anti-Semitism, in terms of racism. So we're in a climate right now that's very, very tense.
In recent days, a group of demonstrators appeared to show support for West's anti-Semitic remarks by hanging banners from a freeway overpass near LA.
It was a dangerous thing for Kanye to do at a time when the danger facing Jewish people is all too real.
This post by Jerry Seinfeld's wife, Jessica, getting hundreds of thousands of likes and shares online. But West's actions go beyond upsetting the Jewish community. He recently wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt at a Paris runway show. He suggested that George Floyd died from a fentanyl overdose rather than police brutality. Can West reverse any of this and make a comeback? The apology tour hasn't been convincing. He recently told an interviewer he was sorry for the hurt that the DEFCON tweet caused, but wasn't sorry he said it. His ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, just issued a statement criticizing hate speech, but only after she was called out for not addressing West's behavior earlier. One damage control expert says this.
These are his real thoughts. There's really no coming back from this. If these thoughts are the result of a mental health condition, I think that is a mitigating fact.
There is speculation that West's behavior could be related to mental illness. He himself has previously acknowledged a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, but he's also cast some doubt on that. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
When we come back, we'll reveal what national day it is, as well as the pet of the week. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Don't be superstitious on National Black Cat Day. October 27 celebrates the beauty of these sleek creatures. The day also seeks to raise awareness about the low adoption rates for black cats. This time of year, black cats may decorate thresholds for Halloween and windows for spooky decor. However, these felines deserve love and attention just as much as their tabby equivalents. Sadly, old notions have given these furry creatures a bad reputation. This day is about turning that reputation around. The black canine counterparts also face adoption problems, so it's not about myth and mystery. However, increasing support for the black feline's plight is the goal of this companion holiday.
Natural disasters like earthquakes and hurricanes can level entire communities, and for search and rescue teams, often working against time to find survivors, it's a painstaking task. But an unlikely savior is being trained to help out, rats with tiny, high-tech backpacks carrying video cameras. The project, conceived by Belgian nonprofit Apopo, trains the rats to help first responders search for survivors among rubble in disaster zones. Some have been trained for other emergency situations, like sniffing out explosives and even detecting tuberculosis. But not every rodent can become a part of the renowned rescue rat pack. For over a decade, Apopo's programs in Tanzania have used African giant pouched rats, which have a longer lifespan in captivity than the common brown rat.
This week's Lee County Humane Pet of the Week goes to Jack-o'-lantern. Yep, that's right, a black cat named Jack-o'-lantern. As your new pet, serves as a great addition to your home for Halloween creeping up on Monday. We even heard that Jack-o'-lantern has a costume ready for Monday. He is a male kitty, so sweet and kind, and in search for his forever home. Jack-o'-lantern is about 6 months old, unaltered, vaccinated, and microchipped. He is HIV negative, and his adoption fee is $125. Come visit or apply online for him today at the Lee County Humane Society. We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Kensley Davis.
And I'm John Carter. Make sure you tune in every Thursday to watch Eagle Eye News. Or Eagle.
Auburn.